Hello and welcome back to another modeling on the fly video where we continue to work on this vehicle that you may have seen in a very popular science fiction film, but that's not what's important tonight. What's important tonight is that I am being joined by a very good friend of mine who many of you may know from the 3D Buzz forums. He goes by the name Kuanbyr, which I'm sure translates to Canadian Spice, which I think is what I'm going to call him from now on. I like the sound of it, Canadian Spice. So, hi there, Kuanbyr. Do you want us to call you Kuanbyr, or do you want us to call you Leonard?
Well, more appropriately, it'd be Q the beer.
Q the beer?
Yeah.
Q the beer. I like it.
Yeah.
We didn't cue the beer, and I think these videos would
go... And I'm thirsty.
I'm thirsty, too, and I think these videos would be a lot more successful, and our modeling would go much more smoothly.
Or at least it would look smoothly, even if everyone else looked at it and it was pretty rough.
Exactly.
To us, it would look smooth.
Exactly, and really, I think that's all that matters, as long as it looks good to us. So, here's the deal tonight, folks, and cue the beer. Canadian Spice here. Didn't know this was going to happen, but basically this video is going to last for as long as he keeps me entertained. As soon as I am no longer entertained, I am quitting this video and going back to other things that I had to do. So if you want this video to carry on and be lengthy and useful, you better really hope that Kuanbyr keeps me entertained for the next few minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove this edge. So here, check this out. I wasn't going to talk too much. I was just going to model, but see, I noticed something a second ago.
Yeah, you're going to make sure I don't get a word in. I was going to say we'll keep you entertained for at least a minute.
Well, I just wanted to get this out because everybody's like, hey, what the heck is Zach doing? These look like crap. You can see how that's like kind of jumbled up, and it's probably not that big of a deal. It's something that texturing would probably clean up.
Do you know what that is?
It's a normaling issue.
No, that was you were handling that before you washed your hands.
It does kind of look that way, doesn't it? That's right. I was modeling without washing my hands, and Mom always did tell me the importance of washing up when I get done with the restroom, and just
whoops,
this one time. All right, now I can't get rid of these edges because they're dependent edges, but that's okay. I need to get rid of this one pretty badly, though. He needs to go one way or the other, so remove that, and now all of these are nice flat edges, and that's a little bit less of a problem. Now, we've still got some funniness going on here. So, tell us what you're doing here. Why are you here, Leonard?
I got on an airplane, and I jumped on the wrong one, evidently, because I was just flying up to Edmonton. Somehow I got down here, and I haven't figured that one out yet.
Are we going to blame that on the Canadian Airlines or Canadians being able to read airline charts?
There's charts?
Oh, no.
Wow. Well, like they say, learn something new every day.
Exactly. That's right. I'm going to get all kinds of email and PMs now from angry Canadians saying, hey, what are you trying to say, eh?
You mocking me, eh?
Exactly. No, I would never.
Yeah.
Eh? I can't.
Well, I'm going to just sit back and drink my maple syrup now.
Oh, no. I apologize. Because that's what you guys drink. All right, so that cleaned that up. What else do I want to do? I need to get out some pictures. That's what I need to do. We got these great shots of the studio model. Now, have you seen one of these before? Do you know what it is we're actually modeling?
It's some kind of a skimmer.
A skimmer? Yes.
Yeah, I think that was from Back to the Future, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, see?
That's
Boy,
pretty good.
I know things.
Yeah, you're all over it.
Yeah. I think I got one of these in my backyard.
Yeah, now, that would actually be really cool. Now, these are some photos taken from various props from the Star Trek series.
Cool.
And right up here is where Captain Kirk used to sit.
Yeah.
I guess this is as good a shot as I can hope for.
Where did Rimmer sit? Rimmer. Where was he sitting?
I don't know. I guess probably toward the back.
I
don't know. Let's see here. What I want to do is start pulling out this funny little shape, which I suppose we can see on the image plane. Is this little funny descender here. So I need some more edges. I need more detail. It's always the case. Yeah. More detail.
You need more detail to make the bumpy parts.
Yeah. That's the story that I'm going to go with. I like it. And let's see here. If I get my rotate tool out, they want me to rotate this in the y-axis to flip it toward me, and it's great. That's actually not right. I love it. Well, let's just do this then. Fantastic.
Ooh.
And let's see. Let's just go ahead and nail the old cut. Well, slice plane, slice button. See, I actually haven't used 3ds Max now in a few days. Which, I mean, yeah, I ought to be ashamed and all. But as many of you know, I am currently working on this very small side project called Maya Advanced Digital Production. Technically, it's called Mastering Maya.
Oh, okay.
Advanced Digital Production.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that.
No, I know you haven't. I know
Yeah.
you haven't because you got the videos and I've seen what you've got done so far. So I was pretty
Yeah.
sure you hadn't heard of it at all. Okay, I'm sorry. That was
It's stuck away in my closet, you know. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's
Well, I still haven't been able to pedal fast enough on my bike to generate enough electricity to run the computer, you know.
Wow. So is that how they do it up there in Canada?
Yeah, well, I'm living in my igloo, so
Wow.
yeah. But it's starting to melt, so I'm in trouble.
I guess so. This time of year, I'm gonna have a hard time keeping the place air conditioned.
Yep. Plus, the polar bears are becoming a problem right
Now,
now.
I just want to make sure everybody's completely clear on this. Canadian Spice here is from Canada.
Is that where I'm from?
That's where he's from. So,
Holy smokes.
so I can't get in trouble for making fun of Canadians because
So-
I'm not the one doing it tonight.
So you're, in other words, you're saying I'm going to get in trouble with myself now.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, and I give myself a bad time, so that could get really rough.
Well, you're certainly keeping your end of the bargain here. Okay, well, that's perfect. We ought to really just leave that hanging out just like that. What do you think?
It's pretty red. Mm-hmm. I like red.
So you don't, what 3D packages do you get to use?
Right now I'm having fun with XSI.
XSI.
Yeah.
Another fine Autodesk product.
Uh-huh.
And I'm still not used to saying that.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre.
It's becoming a smaller world by the day.
Yeah, it was Canadian, eh? And now it's down here. So it's going to be really confused.
Is Autodesk not Canadian?
No, it ain't.
I know they've got some offices up that way.
Yeah.
Or at least they used to back when I guess technically worked for them.
Yeah. No, Autodesk is American. You guys have it. We lost it somehow, you know?
Well, that's actually not at all what I wanted to do. So I got to hit undo and flip that back. And there we go. I just wanted to flatten that out a little bit. So that looks a lot better. At least that's a good start. Now, if we flip over here, this edge actually comes down over here as well. So I may need to... I don't necessarily think I'll have to rethink the whole thing. What I might be able to do is this. I'll just try something. Since this is all kind of done on the fly, I get to make it up as I go. And wow, that makes my life a whole lot easier. So pull this down. Now let's just grab all of this. So we're not selecting through. I must have something switched off up here. Yep, ignore back facing. That's right, we'll leave it on for now. Sometimes that saves me and sometimes it, well, sometimes it doesn't. So let's extrude and let's see, by group, so it's a little less painful on the eyes, and we'll just pull out the numbers really carefully like so. Now that's going to require some cleanup over here, but I'm okay with that. Let's jump over to the side view real quick. So why don't you tell our viewers at home, they don't like hearing me talk, man. They know they know what I'm doing. They're like, oh, well, you're still modeling this this thing from Star Trek, so they're not interested in what I got. So
well, it could be they're trying to get some sleep right now, and they're listening to your sultry tones, and they're nodding off. If I start talking, you know, I might keep them awake.
And we can't have that. I have no idea whether to thank you or not. I'm just here like, okay.
Yeah, well.
Well, thank you for that.
Okay, and would you please put that baseball bat down? It's making me a little nervous.
And I can still operate the mouse while I grab it, too. But that takes years of practice. I don't recommend you try that at home.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Mm.
Yeah, this is starting to look a little messy. It's going to have to be cleaned up. And part of that is because I'm sliding these straight back in the y-axis, and of course this shape is not angled nicely down the y-axis. It actually tapers outward. So my laziness is biting me.
Well, at least you know what you're doing. If I was doing this, it would be a disaster.
Nah, Canadians know how to model, I'm sure of it. I've seen it in stories.
Yeah, well, I model in clay, not on here, you know.
Wow. Again, folks, he's the Canadian one, so I don't want to get any emails about picking on Canadians.
But I do model in clay. Nice, well, plasticine clay. It's animation clay.
Ah, gotcha. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, I'm a claymation type guy, eh?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And why don't you tell people what you do so they have a clear idea of...
Well, I was kind of hoping someone could tell me what I do.
Well, I mean, aside from being a professional Canadian, I'm not sure what you do.
Yeah. Which part do you want? My real job or the job that I'd rather be doing?
Take your pick. You know, as long as it's interesting, we've got time. If it's not interesting, then things will be abbreviated by a little bit.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I do is run one of North America's largest science fiction fantasy bookstore gaming stores. Yeah.
Wow, that wasn't... It's great how that wasn't a shameless plug. The delivery stayed nice and consistent throughout.
Yeah, there was no tonal changes.
None whatsoever. Yeah. I really like that attention to detail. And the idea that you're not trying to be a sellout and promote your own stuff when you're a guest on the show.
Well, did you notice how well I didn't promote it? I didn't say the name once.
That's true, you didn't. So what's the name of this place? Go ahead, knock yourself out.
It's called the Sentry Box.
The Sentry Box.
As in a guard sentry.
Yeah.
Not century. Sentry.
S-E-N-T-R-Y.
Yeah, Sentry Box.
Do you have a website?
Well, of course. TheSentryBox.com.
Wow.
Hey. I thought it worked a little better than Blues and Old Shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just seemed to throw people when I use that.
Yeah, and it doesn't really say much about the company. So it's all science fiction stuff?
Yep.
What kind
science
of stuff
fiction, fantasy, military.
Oh, man.
Oh, we got the scary stuff.
I want to go.
Well, yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Still waiting for you to get up there.
I know. Well, see, I got caught up doing this.
Yeah. Well, I tried to ship the dog team down here so you could have got up there, but
nice.
They were having troubles with the runners on all this ground and this
Yeah,
greenery down
not
here.
enough ice to drag around.
Golly gee.
No good at screaming mush over and over again anyway. All right, well, let's see. I mean, this is all very good, and it's a really good start and all, but let's see if we can kind of accentuate some of the internal shapes here. Now, I mean, my gut impulse is to just see if I can chop that out real quick with a Boolean, but I'm going to... I feel like I should try not to do that if I can avoid it.
I'd use a scraper.
There you go. Right there on the screen. Just it's just an LCD monitor. Why not? Actually, I may go ahead and do it. We could just see if we could put some shapes in here. There's 4 squares there, an elongated one back here, and see if we can just chop the whole thing out with a Boolean. It might surprise us with how well it works. I don't know.
And I won't make the Boolean joke.
There's a Boolean joke?
Yeah.
Oh, no. And see, now you have to. What's the Boolean joke? Now even I'm fascinated.
Oh, you don't remember the nice show way back? That was funny. But I won't mention it.
Oh, no.
You don't hear me saying anything.
Oh, no.
Not a word.
Yeah.
Mum's the word, you know.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. I'd get in too much trouble if I said anything.
Nah, not around here.
No, not around here.
Yeah. Somewhere.
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 Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so let's see here. Now, I imagine this is not really going to work right off the bat, so we got to convert it to an editable
Well, it's probably because it's pink.
You know, that's true, and it's funny that you bring that up, because this is a story now... Right now, folks, I'm counting on the fact that Jason never watches these videos. Jason, who many of you may know on the site as Busby J, the Buzzman, the founder of the site. I actually started learning 3D from him several years back, and he didn't do much by way of the 3ds Max courses, but he got me started with his VTMs, and he gave me a few demonstrations, and he cannot stomach a shape to come in and be pink. He's immediately got to switch it over to blue. And then I picked the habit up.
Making it pink.
Yeah, now it's pink. So it's like I'm breaking the tradition. So it's like the next thing I had to do is come over here and make the shape blue. So now we're fitting in with how it's supposed to work.
I feel better now.
Well, yeah. Well, that's kind of a nasty pink too. That's like that indigestion medicine pink, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, you got something wrong with your guts, pink. And this stuff is probably going to make it worse. Okay, so let's see here. All I'm trying to do is get a shape started, because then I can tweak it later on once it actually does get chopped out. Now, let's see. Let's take a look at our photos one more time. So, you see, this is kind of interesting. This first indentation actually lines up with where we change direction and come down. And I'm cool with that, but you notice this is like the only really wide one, and everything else is nice and uniform. Man, that's irritating.
Well, it had to make up for the loss of the bottom edge. You see, it wanted to be the same volume as the other
I'm just
ones.
thinking the whole thing was designed in Canada. That's what I'm going to go with. So let's see.
Could be, you know.
Grab this. Let's get at least one more copy out. And this one... Actually, wait a minute. Hang on.
Your picture looks different than the other thing.
Oh, they all look different. So you kind of really what I do is I glance at the pictures, I nod knowingly in the direction of the image planes, and then I model whatever it is I want to model. So I'm actually surprised this thing does kind of resemble this vehicle from Star Trek.
Right. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more. Say no more.
Exactly. I'm surprised that Gene Roddenberry hasn't come over to visit. All right, I can't go any further than that. I can't pick on Gene Roddenberry. He was a great guy.
Yep. He's a personal friend of mine.
Still?
Yeah, I still stay in constant contact.
And that's as far as we're going to push that. We'll just say, okay, and we'll go right on to the rest of our evening. That's great, Leonard.
Yeah. Well, I figure if you're going to tell a tall tale, you got to really tell it.
Yeah, it might as well be a really tall tale.
Yep.
All right, so that seems, well, that almost lines up. If we can just get an indentation, we can work out all the kinks later. So let's see how badly this performs. What do you think? On a scale of 1 to 10, how badly is this going to blow up, you think?
It's going to look gorgeous. I
Really?
can tell right now.
I don't believe it, not for a second. I think it's going to explode in my face. I'm going to regret the day that I even started. But we're going to do it anyway, so let's grab this. Let's hit attach. I want to see if I can do everything at once. So.
Okay, let me get in position. I got to be standing on one foot with my arms behind my head.
I like it.
My other arm underneath my foot.
Good thinking.
Yeah. Okay, ready.
Ready. All right, so pro booleans and start picking. Get your finger out of that. And there we go.
Oh,
sweet.
Pretty.
So it worked. Everyone can now breathe a sigh of relief.
I win.
Yes, you do, actually. And
it's really pretty.
I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth.
It doesn't look shattered at all.
That's a little suspect, but easy to fix. So let's do this, and this will all be a little spooky as well, but let's give it a try. Editable poly, good. Seemed to hold up from that. All right, so now it just needs to be cleaned, because you just don't leave these things like this. That's just bad form.
Okay, I'll go get the soap.
Excellent. Excellent. So, what again? You use several applications. You do. You use more. You use more 3D applications than anybody I know.
It's just because I don't know which one to settle with. So I got to try everything.
Yeah, I had a very similar philosophy for a while in my dating life, and that didn't work out so well.
Yeah, a lot of bruises.
Among other things, lots of pain, emergency room visits, and whatnot.
Yeah.
It sounds good on paper, folks, but not worth it in the end.
Nope. Now, right now, the 3D package of choice that I'm playing with is XSI.
Anything else?
I do play with Hexagon.
Yeah.
If you're into terrains, well, then I do numerous ones of those. Of course, Terragen. That's a goodie. Terragen 2, Deep Edition. Yeah, I got to climb into a bunker.
Up behind right now. It's awesome.
Whoa.
So we're sitting here, we're working, and Terry has come up behind us, and he's obviously looking for something. Terry, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
But Terry forgot the beer.
Yeah, now that's two people who've come up here to work and didn't bring us anything to drink. I don't know about all that.
Yeah. I also play with Vue.
Vue. Now, I know all of these applications, but there's probably a few people out here who don't. So why don't you give an idea? Why are you using all these? What are you doing with each one? Like XSI, what do you do with XSI? What are you doing with it? Because I mean, really, you can do anything in XSI that you can do in Max or Maya. It's
Right.
But what are you doing with it in particular?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Good answer. Very good answer.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to learn it and playing with it and I'm actually building something.
Yeah.
And it even almost looks like what it's supposed to.
Well, what's it supposed to look like?
It's supposed to look like the time machine from the original movie.
From the way back movie.
Yeah, way back. And it's almost working because it keeps disappearing.
Nice. Very nice. It seems to have actually gone back in time and
Yeah.
gotten worse because it corrupted my file.
Ooh. Now, one of the other things that I'm really trying to struggle with to get somewhere with is designing games.
Okay.
So I've bought the Torque engine a while back. I've got the fancy Pro one.
Nice.
I figure if you're going to go for it, you go for the gusto.
Sure.
You know, so
Absolutely.
plus I wanted the fancy shaders and stuff. And it's cool.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play with Torque. I've only just barely got to dabble a little bit with Unity, and of course, I've used Unreal Engine 3 once or twice.
Unreal. Now, what is that?
Unreal is... It is a small local game engine. Not too many people have probably heard of Unreal.
Is it something I could buy real easily?
Yeah.
The engine?
You could.
Make my own game with
you
it?
probably have enough money in your back pocket right
Cool.
now.
Well, I just go out to my diamond mine.
All you need is... I think if you want Unreal Engine 3, I think it's up to $750,000 now. Somewhere around there. I know
it's come down.
Yeah.
Last I looked, it was $1 million.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't speak for Epic Games or anything like that. I have no interest whatsoever in licensing the engine, so I have no idea what they're charging for it these days.
Yeah, well, the fun part is if I want to buy it, it costs me double.
Oh yeah, because you're Canadian.
Yeah,
Right. You get punished for that.
that's right. Yep.
You get that Canadian tax.
Yeah.
Because the whole currency thing is not really the issue at hand.
No.
It's just that you're Canadian, and so you kind of need to be punished for that. You had the nerve to be something other than completely American, I suppose.
Yep. I don't know where I went wrong. Or where I went right.
I still haven't been to Canada, and that sucks.
Yeah, you're missing out.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to go to. I want to go visit Calgary.
Yeah.
I want to go check out Vancouver. I want to go to Toronto.
Toronto?
I want to go to Toronto.
Yeah, actually went through there just a few days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got totally lost in the airport.
In the airport?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I was with company.
Gotcha.
The entire plane load of us were lost.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're all going, well, where do we go?
Somebody give you bad directions, or was it just like a whole bunch of...
No, they just wouldn't give us directions. I think it was all plot.
Oh, gotcha.
We were supposed to stay there.
I gotcha.
Well, it's like everyone's always moving from out east to Calgary, you see. They wanted to get an influx back from the west to the east.
Right, so they figure if they confuse you hard enough, that it just might work, and you'll just stay there.
We got stuck and stay there, yeah, and just settle down.
It sounds like a plan to me. It might actually work. I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, to heck with worrying about hiring on people to promote tourism. That kind of stuff is expensive in this day and
Well,
age.
yeah.
Who wants to pay for advertising? So you just give some people some funny directions at the airport. They get lost. They give up and decide to go ahead and live there. Everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
I like it. It's kind of inventive if you think about it.
Well, of course. You know us. We're all inventive.
All right, so let's see. Let's slide these up. I love it because I've got DirectX
35?
text turned on. Yeah, DirectX 35. because I've got some DirectX shaders turned on, my undos are horridly slow. It's like the old days of 3ds Max.
You got shaders turned on? I don't see any shaders. It looks like a gray box to me.
Yes, it's these guys. Because these these textures look terrible in and of themselves. So if you activate them through DirectX, they end up looking a lot better and are almost readable.
Okay.
All right, let's hold off on that real quick. Now we've got everything kind of pulled up, we probably need to replanarize everything. At least Max can do that really well. Maya can do it too if you download some tools to do it for you. Okay, let's take some picture looks real quick. Let's see. That just kind of goes down and ends up being flush down there at the bottom. Now that's easy enough. I don't have a problem with that. We'll just get out our mighty target weld tool and make sure we're in vertex of object mode, because if we're not, we're welding the wrong thing, and that's no fun for anybody.
Target welds. I like target welds.
Now, let's see. It doesn't want to let me weld that. Is there any good reason? Probably.
Probably. Your target welding is a little bit different than mine.
Yeah.
Mine's easier to see.
Your target welding in which app? XSI?
XSI.
Yeah, probably. Okay, well, it doesn't want to let me weld that one in. So what I do when any app ever rubs me raw like that is I take a look at what I get to destroy.
So what would cause it not to want to weld?
Off the top of my head, I'm not really sure.
Because you see, the neat thing with the way I do it with my wonderful app, is I'd highlight the one vertice that I want to move.
Oh, it's a vertex, man.
Vertex.
Singular is vertex, and plural is vertices.
Okay, well,
Please, oh please. Please, oh please.
vertex. Hey, that was nice.
Now go ahead.
And then I would go into target weld and gives me a nice little black pick arrow, and I point to where I want it to weld, and it instantly goes, okay.
Gotcha. Well, this isn't so different. Once I activate the tool, I mean, I can just click up here and then click down here. You get a nice little rubber band line to show you where it's going. It highlights to let you know you're on an eligible vertex. It just didn't want to do that before, so once we nuked out the polygon, it was like, oh, okay. I see what you're doing.
Now you're cooking.
All right, let's get the move tool out.
What they say, cooking with gas?
No, we're cooking with a can of Sterno.
Sterno's tasty.
Let's see here. Let's do edge constraints. We'll just slide that over. Just kind of eyeball it. A little more. Okay. Now, if we come back over here, we've got some more interesting stuff. I want to try something. If we grab an edge, that's interesting. That edge may actually come in handy. Let's see. If we come over here, let's just nuke this guy. See ya. Now, let's see. We grab the cut tool. I keep wanting to reach for the split polygon tool. I'm like, wait, that's an entirely different application.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of amazing how often that will happen if you let it. Now, I think I just borked that because I clicked in two different locations, but easy enough to fix. Tink. And this we could wrap around back up to there if we wanted to. I'll do it for now. I don't know if I'll keep it. This is like everything. This is all tentative until I like the way it looks. Alright. Edge constraints are still on. We'll drag that across. So you get to use hexagon. What do you use hexagon for?
Well, hexagon is a straight modeler. And I was working on a beautiful Canon, what was it, XL2? Yeah. You can pretty much build anything you want in there.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's nice, easy, and very inexpensive.
How much does it run?
Well, normally it's usually runs about $100.
That's not bad.
But you can always wait and get it on sale for around $40, $50 in that area. Or you can jump on the, well, you probably wouldn't get the deal I got because I jumped on it the day it released and I got it for $1.99.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, less than a hamburger. Can't beat that.
Nope. No,
It's just not as tasty though.
No, it's not.
No, it was less filling.
I already had a hamburger today, so I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I did too. Thanks to you.
You know,
It was yummy.
it was. Yeah, we went out to Buddy's. Okay, there it is. I had edge constraints on. I was like, why is this exploding? All right, make planar. Fantastic. Now go ahead and just grab everybody, and let's try that again. Excellent. And now let's see here. Let me see if I can make my life a little easier. It's great how far I have to scroll to because I'm running this at 1024 resolution, so everything's like really far away. Let's try 25 degrees, and ooh, look at that. It's a little more than I was looking for, but so let's pull that down to about 10 degrees. That'll work, sort of. Yeah, we can make that work. Let's just see what happens if we planarize that.
It actually looks like a skeleton key.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? But that cleans all that up a little bit. Now, let's see, I think these faces should probably still be planar. Are we getting back faces? What are you selecting back there? I'm not sure what it's selecting, but it shouldn't. Oh, no, well, okay. Several things are probably still on that are thwarting my efforts here. Let's turn off biangle and turn on ignore back facing. And now everything suddenly works great.
Wow.
And that's what's important. Alright, so that's all replanarized. Let's just turn off our extra edges real quick. And I mean, it's coming along. It's doing generally what I want it to. Now, there was something I was working on over here, though. And basically what I'm trying to do is make it so that I can make another indentation here, probably through a separate Boolean like I did a second ago, but still end up with a second edge that I can pull up out here, because this kind of comes down and then it chisels inward.
Yeah.
So, the plan that I have, my master plan, is it's twofold, really. First, let's create our little subtraction object. And this is back to where we're just kind of making things up that look more like the pictures than they do the image plane, but that's okay too. Whatever pays the bills. Let's come over here to our standard primitives and get the almighty box. Something kind of like that. I have no idea how well that lines up, but we don't need to know. We'll line it up. So have you ever followed along with any of these videos? Because I know you watch one or two of my training videos from time to time.
One or two.
Yeah.
My favorites were the Star Trek phaser.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that one.
The most powerful sci-fi weapon ever.
That's right. Yeah, that one I'll actually be playing with in a while. I want to finish my time machine first, and then I want to build the phaser.
I understand.
Yeah.
You going to build it in Maya, or are you going to...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It'll be an XSI. I don't own Maya.
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's kind of out of my price league. They left me behind. Yeah.
Though I have heard they're bringing the PLE back.
Hey.
That makes me happy.
PLE comes back, then it makes it a lot easier to play with it.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see here. I suppose we ought to get back over here. So how's your time machine coming along?
It's looking not bad. You can sit down in the chair almost once I duplicate the other side.
Nice.
Mirror it. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, the chair's there.
Yeah.
So you can at least sit down. That way you can sit down and relax and look at what you got to do yet as you're building it. Works pretty good.
I know how that is.
Yeah, it's cushy too.
Oh,
nice
sweet.
cushy chair.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun doing that.
Oh, I bet.
And, of course, I got ulterior motives. I always do.
Well, what's your ulterior motive in this case?
Once I get it modeled in XSI, I have access to some very fun toys, like 3D printers and such.
Prototyping.
Yes. Be making a full model of it, resin model, and
Let's
be able
see.
to put on the desk.
I had figured that's where the phaser was headed.
Could be.
Because who wouldn't want a Captain Kirk-style phaser to point at people from time to time?
See, that might be a project that goes on the new CNC machine that we're building.
There you go.
because we're building a CNC as well. And, well, of course, with the CNC machine, I'd be able to, we could pretty much build a Starship Enterprise on that baby.
Yes.
Because it's going to be big.
Oh, wow.
Big machine.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I figured why make a nice model kit that can sit on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like get it painted and whatnot? Or just going to leave it in like it's
Yeah,
basic resin?
I'd probably paint it. Yeah. It look fancier that way.
It would.
It looked like the original model that they had.
It certainly would. I remember a few years back now, I was lucky enough while I was in the Los Angeles area to go visit Zoic Studios.
Yeah.
And they had a clay model of Serenity.
Oh, wow.
Up on one of the shelves. And I mean, they hadn't done anything to it. It was just sitting there in its original clay form.
Okay.
No painting or anything. And it was so beautiful and elegant looking. And I mean, the sculptor had just done a beautiful job with it. It was absolutely amazing. All right.
It's amazing what you can do in clay.
Oh, yeah.
But then, of course, once you got it in clay, you got to get it into the computer.
Indeed. So, I apparently got a little bit turned around here.
Oh,
Because this really needs to be running down a bit lower.
the monitor's behind you.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's see here. Is it? I wonder if it's even worth my time in fixing, or if I could just go with it and nobody would notice. Which
I can't see it.
By the way, that's the George Lucas standard.
What are we supposed to see? I got my eyes closed, so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what I'm pointing out here is that this piece that I'm actually working on is actually one whole tier too high.
Uh-oh.
Which, I mean, that's so far from the end of the world, I doubt anybody would really notice, but I know it's there, and it's going to drive me absolutely bananas just knowing that it's there. So, it's really a question of how can I go about easily fixing that so I don't have to think about it anymore. And one way, excuse me, that comes readily to mind would be to do some of this, but it's going to take me a couple minutes. First off, can we loop this? No, we can't loop it. Okay. Because looping it would be way too convenient.
Yeah.
That would make my job way too easy. Can't have that.
No, can't have easy.
But we can remove that. We can double check my picture real quick. And so I think a couple of things here. Come over here. Yeah, it really looks like this whole thing could be brought down a little bit, and that would help. Let's see if we can see through. Sort of. It's a little hard to tell, actually. So that actually needs to come down. That's my problem. And, yeah, come down and then go out from there. Okay. Well, let's see. Don't ever rotate an orthographic view. By the way,
Right.
I still, to this day, I'm sorry, Autodesk or 3ds Max fanboys, I still think it's irritating that you can do that at all.
Yeah, it's a rather tricky thing. Just kind of
I am
throw you.
still of the opinion that that's a feature that doesn't even need to be there. But they didn't call me and ask first, so it's still there. All right.
I don't remember a full phone call on that either.
No.
Well, I'm still waiting on a phone call.
I didn't get the memo. Let's try something here. Let's see if we split this around. It's almost like making a pop-up book. Grab this little vertex. Come here, you. Let's see here if I pull that out. Oh, things are going to look horrible for a minute. That's okay. I'll let them look horrible for a moment while I try to sling some polygons around.
It's making my eyes go weird.
Yeah, mine too. And let's see here. Let's grab some faces. Oh, well, that was handy. And slide all these. Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's awesome when it does that. Tempted. I always got to watch myself, because when I see something like that, my gut impulse is to just destroy it. So I just knock out the entire face. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to rebuild the whole thing. And it looks like, yeah, it looks kind of like the image plane and the model maybe a little bit at odds with each other right there. So I just got to clean this up and make the rest of this work, and I think we'll have something.
Got a rasp?
Just so happens. But I don't think Jason would like me doing that to his monitor either, now that we mention it. Alright, well, let's see here. If I pull that back a little bit, let's see if I gotta at least get that funny extra edge out of the way. So
Yeah, I keep giving you ideas how to fix it, and you just don't like any of my ideas.
yeah, well, they're good ideas, and I will take them under advisement.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Alright, so we've got a good start there with just a whole bunch of extra geometry that we don't really need. So let's see if we can cut this across, switch over to edges, and start nuking extraneous things that we don't need anymore. We don't need that. I don't think we've needed this for a while now. Yeah, that can go. That can go. That can go. Oh yeah, I'm starting to clean things up a little bit. Then we can, let's see.
Now, what shape is that polygonid? Is it?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
an Escher is what we call that. That is a quad. It's just a really messy one. Let's do this. Bink. Let's adjust our
Hey, that looks
groups.
a little cleaner.
Yeah, that at least made it be quiet about the whole problem from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then what we have here, or what it looks like to me, is where these all kind of taper down. This comes straight down and then tapers. It's hard to tell. I'm basing this all from shading, but I think I could go with that story, and I wouldn't get subpoenaed later for it.
Yeah, that one got by me, so it's good to go.
Let's just do this. See if we can do that. And then we can pull these straight back. Let's get the cut tool before I move anything else. And slide this straight back, back, and move tool. And let's grab some edges. And really, this is my own fault. If I'd built this if I'd been paying a little more attention, I probably wouldn't have missed that in the first place. But since I did miss it, I had to fix it, and that's not the end of the world. I break things all the time when I'm modeling them. That is common for me.
Well, when you break things modeling, it's sure a lot easier to clean up.
Yeah, especially when you're doing it with polygons.
Yeah.
It's just much easier. Okay, now let's do this. Let's grab you, and then all of these guys. Now let's just assume they all need to be completely planar with one another, and we will make them so. I must have had edge constraints on again. Make sure those are off. I almost need a babysitter just for that one feature. Just say, hey, are you sure you want to have you want to click that? Because edge constraints is still on now.
Well, I'd never remember, so you're out
Yeah,
of luck there.
it bites me about 100 times a day if I'm using Macs. I just get so wrapped up in the buttons that I just forget to click that. All right, let's planarize those. And then, now of course, as we make certain things planar, they're going to knock other things out of planarity.
Yes, and I see that one.
Yeah, but
It's got a beacon on it.
But not terribly so. Not to the point where I think we're going to get any nasty letters or anything.
Well, I'm writing one right now.
Oh,
I'll be
goodness.
handing it to you
put the
in a few
laptop
minutes.
down.
Sorry.
I mean, really. How rude.
Yeah, well, that's me. I just lose control.
I hear you. All right, so that's now planar. This needs to be cleaned up. And we'll just straighten that out. And let's see, we'll pull this up. And I think we're starting to get something that actually kind of looks like it's supposed to, which is kind of scary for me, given how often that happens. The normals are a little bit on the the wonky side, but we got to fix that by adding some more edges and some rounding anyway. We don't want to leave these razor sharp edges in there, and that's just going to be kind of a process of building up kind of gradually.
Right. You don't want razor sharp edges on a sonic screwdriver.
Exactly, and
Yeah,
this
you hold that, it
we want
hurts.
this to be a convincing sonic screwdriver when all is said and done. Also, noticing that we're kind of blending in here, like this armor plate that we've got up here is blending in because these polygons are just adjacent to one another, and that's not so hot. So, what I'm going to do here is make a little cut back to there, and another one that just goes straight back to here, and we'll figure out how to solve that problem in a minute, though I think it technically just solved itself. Let's grab this little cross edge here. We can nuke it. We don't need it anymore.
And now we just got to fix that poly since it's bent.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Let's get really close. Pull that out. Now, can I do this by edges? I mean, do you think I'm that lucky? The answer is probably not, but I'll try anything one time. Let's see if we kind of aim our eye right down this and pull out and down. It had to have at least helped. Now, switch over to faces, get the gizmo out of the way for a minute. Okay, and once again, tap that lovely make planar button.
And you got all the magic clear me keys done?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
Let's see, let's planarize these guys again. And let's see, what did that break? I don't think it broke anything. Aside from the smoothing groups, but we knew those were going to break, because that's what smoothing groups do. That's why you have them, to make your model look like garbage while you work on it.
So you're saying smooth is not smooth.
It's as smooth as it's going to be in most
Yeah,
cases.
okay.
We'll just run it at a 20-degree angle, and it seems like that held up okay.
Hey, that's clean now.
Except for up here. And that's
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's where it's going to end up being, going in and playing with custom smoothing groups. It looks like we got another little planarity issue, which would all be because of this guy. Let's bring our wires back out, and he needs to slide back out, and that should kind of help that a little bit. And let's see here. Let's make sure we turn on my big error maker setting again.
Error.
Exactly. See, you're my new babysitter for that feature. Okay, and auto smooth one more time. Okay, that cleaned that up, at least for the time being. And I think we've got a nice little addition here. We've managed to pull this down. The geometry's still kind of hanging in here. You wouldn't want to just leave these all planar, but I think we're to a nice point where we can pause and pick this up in another video. So that is going to wrap up this episode of Modeling on the Fly as we continue progressing forward on our AT-AT-like vehicle thing. Sort of. I'm trying to avoid people going, hey, that's somebody else's IP. Anyways, I hope everyone has a good evening. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'd like to thank Leonard, Mr. Q the Beer.
Hey, there you go.
Kuanbyr on the forums. By all means, stop by and say hello on the forums and tell him how great of a job he did on tonight's video. I'd also like to thank all of our member sponsors who make all of these videos possible, because really, without you guys, the site it's not going to last. So thank you all, and I hope to see you on the next episode. You guys take it easy.